Mike here from Valhalla Pure Outfitters Nanaimo. I'm going to go over sleeping bags, talk about some differences in materials, temperature ratings, and what to look for when you're out shopping for a sleeping bag. First of all, the biggest question that we always get asked is always temperature rating. What temperature rating should I look for a certain kind of trip, or how do I know how warm this bag is? A number of years ago in Europe, a test was developed called an EN rating, or an EN test, and for any bag to be sold over there, it has to be independently tested to come up with that rating. So a lot of these bags now, you'll either find in the hang tag, or on some of the newer ones, actually sewn and laminated to the inside of the bag. Basically a little sliding scale here. The way the rating works is there's three ratings. There's a comfort rating, which is the first number. That's the rating at which a regular woman will sleep comfortably through the night. The second rating is the lower limit. The lower limit is the temperature at which a regular man will sleep comfortably through the night. And then the third, which is deemed the extreme limit, is a temperature at which a woman will basically survive for 6 hours without getting hypothermia, but possibly still getting frostbitten. The second biggest question that we get asked about sleeping bags is down or synthetic. The big complaint about synthetics back in the day was packability. They were heavy, bulky, they didn't get down to the same size as a down bag. That's come a long way. They're a lot lighter and a lot smaller than they used to be. The big complaint about down has been that if down gets wet, it doesn't work anymore, or it loses its insulative value. This is still true. However, a lot of companies now have started treating their down with a finish that helps the down become more water resistant, and basically it retains its loft a lot longer under damp or really humid conditions. They've come closer. There are still some key differences. Synthetic bags for a given temperature rating are still going to be slightly heavier and slightly less packable. Down bags will be more packable, lighter weight for a given temperature, but still can be compromised under moisture. Here's a good comparison of a synthetic versus a down bag as far as how far they've come in compactability. This is a 0 degree rated down or synthetic bag. This bag is 1 pound 15 ounces. This is a 0 degree rated down bag. This bag 1 pound 5 ounces. So as you can see, they're very, very close in size, and weight isn't a huge difference, not definitely as much as it was. In the end, down is going to be lighter, it is going to be more compressible, it's going to be a little more comfortable to sleep in. Synthetic, if you're in very moist climates, there's a good chance you're going to get your stuff wet, or you know you're going to be out and it's probably going to rain for a week straight. Synthetic is still really the only option in those conditions. But you can see packability, they're almost identical now. Another thing you really need to look at when you're looking at a sleeping bag is how the bag fits. In most cases, ultralight bags are going to be a much smaller bag than a standard kind of 3-season bag would be. As you can see, there's a few examples in front of me here. These two bags on the right are more of kind of a 3-season. They're middle of the road for weight. But you can see these bags are quite wide the whole way down, even down into the foot box. This bag on the left here, or I guess you're right, is an ultralight bag. As you can see, this bag is much narrower through the shoulder box, tapers down a lot more during the foot. This is a way they save weight with bags. So if weight's a huge concern for you, there are going to be sacrifices that you're going to have to make to get that weight down, and one of those things is going to be how the bag fits. Another thing that you'll notice too in bags these days, there are men's and women's specific bags, and that'll also vary the shape and the length of the bag. A men's bag will generally be much wider up through the shoulders, then taper down through the waist and through the foot, whereas a women's bag will be a similar width in the shoulder to the hips and then start to narrow down. So definitely take the time, get into the bag, make sure you're comfortable in it. You're going to be spending a large part of your trip sleeping in your bag, so you want to make sure that you're comfortable when you're inside your bag. The last thing to always remember is your sleeping mat. As soon as you lay on a sleeping bag and you compress that insulation, there's really no insulation coming from underneath you other than what's provided by your mat. So definitely take the time, look into your mats, and make sure that you get a mat that properly matches the temperature of your trip. as well as the comfort that you're looking for. There's a huge range of sleeping mats on the market, and that's something we'll talk about on one of the other kind of tech tips we have coming up.